Alright, welcome back everybody. Back for another playthrough of Veilwraith. We are into the fourth vignette now, the Wheeled Heart. And the back of the card reads, "At the heart of the forest there reaches no light, but two blinking lanterns gleaming madly in sight." And those blinking lanterns refer to the Latern-bearer foe. So there are two of these in stacks 3 and 4. So remember there's 5 stacks. So somewhere in the latter half of the deck, probably, there'll be 2 of these. And they're identical, so and they look pretty nasty. So I need to get 6 influence and 6 fight to take them down. When they're played, I lose 2 spirit, and then every turn they stick around, I lose 2 spirit. I can heal 1 when I defeat them. But these are ones I'm going to want to not try to take care of them in the same turn, if at all possible. So do my best to prepare for it. Store up an extra action maybe, and then try to get rid of it in 1 turn. So we'll see if I can overcome those Latern-bearers. I guess the upside of this scenario is that they don't come out until stacks 3 and 4. So that means I've got 12 cards at least in the first 2 stacks to just kind of get ready, get my bearings, get a couple keys. Hopefully I can kind of play a bit frugally and not use too many of my resources, and maybe get a few power tokens built up so I can be ready to deal with those foes when they come out. And in terms of threats we've got in this scenario, we've got Enforcer, Eremite, Fighter, Nymph. So those are all putting pressure on their power tokens that we put out, and when those come in play we have to remove power token from different actions. We have the Mystics, which have us go through our deck and pull out a key, so we lose that kind of null turn where turning up the key is in place of turning up a threat, so we kind of lose that break. Pariah is going to clog our deck, and Hobgoblin will be reshuffling our deck, discard into our deck, so that we could potentially use that to our benefit by not holding on to cards too much. So any healing cards, playing them right away, any extra action cards, playing them, and then trying to use those Hobgoblins to cycle back into those cards. And if we win, we get to upgrade an action, and so that means flipping one of these cards to their advanced side. And their advanced side is really, the only difference is that from the advanced side you can flip it back to the basic side and add 5 power tokens to it. So you can kind of instantly make it an incredibly powerful action if you're facing a foe or you need to explore, find a key and get out. And I guess last thing to mention is over here we've got this has the portal has an explore value of 6, so that's what, if we can make it all the way through, that's what we're going to need to get out of the portal and get out of the scenario. So why don't we jump right in with the first threat, and right off the top is the Key of Valor. So explore value is 7. That's nice. I guess it means the Mystic isn't gonna hit us for that. Take away that key. And I draw the Memory of Sorrow. So this is one of the upgraded memories. Return a threat in play to the top of the threat deck and gain 1 influence. I like that. So that's going to let me kind of pace my way And in a way, this can sort of give me those gap turns again that I'll lose because of the Mystic. Well, I'm not going to get Explore 7. Definitely not. So I think I will draw a card, and I'm going to use the Explore action because I'm going to just keep it in the bottom slot to draw a card. Memory of Veil to explore. And let's go ahead and tilt our fight action and power it up. And we reset and on to the next turn. Reveal a nymph. Okay, so remove a power token from Explore, none to remove. Need 5 influence or 4 fight. And we draw Memory of Redemption for 2 influence. All right, well, we'll play Memory of Redemption and use our influence action to generate 5 influence to defeat that nymph. And let's go ahead and power up Explore. Okay, so we have no threats, no spirit damage. We go ahead and end the round. On to the next. Okay, our first pariah. Takes 2 influence to defeat. This has a spirit cost of 2, so we definitely want to take care of that. Well, I mean, we could get our second influence with the Memory of Sorrow, but it'd be kind of a waste of its main benefit. It's a little overkill, but I don't want to have that pariah stick around, so let's play Memory of Redemption, use influence for influence 3, and defeat that pariah. Goes into our discard pile. And let's power up our Explore. Refresh onto the next turn. Fighter. All right, remove 1 power token from influence action. None. There's none on it, so lucked out there. And we draw Memory of Blood. All right, well, so far everything's kind of breaking our way. Let's play Memory of Blood and use our fight action to get 5 fight. We don't even need to use the power token and take care of that fighter. Now for our tilt, we're now at Explore 5. We need 7 to get that key. We do have 2 in our hand, so we could get there next turn without powering this up. So yeah, actually let's plan to do that. The only way we wouldn't get that is if a nymph shows up and takes our power token. But we'll take that gamble. All right, next turn, Eremite. So now we have to discard 1 power token, so any of these. So let's discard it from the influence action. We draw the Memory of Might. So I think I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to grab that key and take the damage from the Eremite. I mean, I do have healing in my deck, so taking a little damage is not going to be the end of the world. And I do have Memory of Sorrow here, so if I'll fall behind, I'll have an extra threat out there, but I can buy myself a turn and return the Memory of Sorrow, return it to the deck. So let's play Memory of Veil, use both these power tokens for Explore 7. We'll grab our first key, Key of Valor. And then we need to tilt. So let's go ahead and power up. Actually, I'm going to power up Fight. I haven't seen any of the Enforcers yet, so if we put a power token on the Influence, we might lose it. Also, if that card comes up. Also, if we spread our tokens around, there's a greater chance we're going to lose it. So now in this case, if a threat card requires us to lose a power token of Influence, we're safe. Sorry, that took me more words than I would have liked to say. So we take one damage from the Eremite, and on to the next turn. All right, Nymph. Remove one power token from Explore. None. So things are breaking our way with these threats. Memory of Honor is one influence. All right, so we have, let's see, we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are through the first stack. So we're now, at some point, another key could come up. I'm tempted to play Memory of Sorrow, because I want to have it in the discard pile in case Hobgoblin has me reshuffle. So I'm going to play it, and I'm going to use the 1 influence with those 3 to get 4 influence and remove the Eremite. And that puts the Nymph back on top of the threat deck. Now, since I know that's coming up, I'm not going to put a token on Explore. I'll put another token on Fight. So really building up our fight capacity here. And we refresh and carry on. So there's that Nymph again. No effect. We'll draw, there's Memory of Heaven. All right, so our first healing card. Now, if I heal now, I'm going to overheal by 1. I'm only at 19 health. But there are 4 hobgoblins here, so we're kind of due for one, actually. So it might be worth playing just to kind of move it through. So yeah, I think let's do that. We'll add a power token. We'll heal for 1. Then let's use the fight action along with the power token we just added to defeat the Nymph. And with the Nymph out of the way, we can power up Explore in preparation for the key that's coming up soon. Okay, next is a Mystic. All right, so the Mystic has us look forward. There it is, the Key of Love. And as it turns out, we would reshuffle all the cards we revealed, but we only revealed 1 left, so we know that a Fighter is next, and that the Fighter removes from our influence action, so we do not want to power up our influence. Okay, and we show a Memory of Knowledge. Well, now I wish I still had the Memory of Sorrow, because this Mystic does 2 spirit damage. So how can we get that? I think what we need to do is swap positions here. So we'll swap Influence and Explore with Memory of Knowledge, and then we're going to play Memory of Honor for 4 Influence to defeat the Mystic. And let's So Key of Love only takes 4. So we're okay already, but so that means we've still got the 5, 6, and 8 keys out there. Let's keep working up our fight. We know we're going to have a couple big fights coming up, so try to stay ahead of that. Okay, no spirit damage. End of turn. Next turn we've got the fighter. Okay, no power token on influence to remove. Takes 4 fight. Yeah, maybe I ought to have... That's what I should have done. I should have put my fight... When at last turn I could have... Well, no, I couldn't have. There wasn't a way to do that. Okay, well, we draw. Let's see. Memory of Blood, 2 fight. Let's go ahead and play that. Again, thinking of these hobgoblins that have us reshuffle. So we're going to play Memory of Blood and then use 2 fight, 2 fight for 4 to defeat that fighter. And let's go ahead and power up let's power up influence. We've seen a couple fighters now. There's actually only 2 fighters in this deck, so I think we're safe in terms of power tokens being taken off the influence action. All right, reset, no spirit damage. We're coasting along at 20. I think having that key come out right at the top of the deck really helped us. Gave us that sort of prep turn, and we weren't incurring spirit damage. Okay, Mystic. Well, there's a hobgoblin, so we're turning up. There's the Key of Sight. Okay, so we get a little glimpse ahead. We've got a Latern-bearer coming up. Somewhere in the next 4 cards, we've also got a hobgoblin. So we are in the danger zone. So that Latern-bearer is going to be 6 fight and 6 influence. If we can try to do it in 1 turn, that would be really great. So we do have our extra action here from this key. And I draw the Memory of Fear. So heals me for 1 and gives me 2 influence. Well, we're in pretty good position here, actually, because if I can get this here, that's 4 influence plus 2 is 6. And then we've got our fight loaded up with power tokens. So once we use that, fight will come into the top slot and we'll be set to take the Latern-bearer there. Problem is it might not come up for 4 cards. So what do we do between now and then? I think we'll take some spirit damage. That's okay. So I think we're gonna grab this Key of Love, and let's power up our influence. We take 1 spirit damage. Reset. And not the Latern-bearer, there's an Eremite. So we have to discard a power token. We can do 3 influence, 4 fight, or 3 explore to take care of the Eremite. So where are we going to take that power token from? I think we can take it from fight. So we need to deal with these threats. We can't just, we're all set up for the Latern-bearer, but it could not be for 3 more cards, and we don't want to just be taking a ton of damage here. So so I'm going to use 1 power token and do influence 4, and I'm going to clear this mystic. And then we'll turn the Key of Love for an additional action and use that here, along with 1 power token for fight 4, and we'll clear that Eremite. Tilt, explore, power it up. So I don't want to, I did that because I don't want to leave threats and sort of wait, and because I meant wait and just take damage while I'm waiting for the Latern-bearer. So we'll see if we're kind of now in not such a great position if we draw it now, but let's see what happens. And we lucked out. All right, so Hobgoblin, we shuffle, discard back into the draw deck. One card I didn't see, which I would have liked to have seen, was the Memory of Heart, which is the extra action. All right, and we draw a Memory of Redemption, 2 influence. All right, well, let's clear that Hobgoblin. I'm not so concerned about the Hobgoblin. I'm more concerned about getting my actions powered up. So I'm going to use Explore to draw a card. Another Memory of Redemption. So I am loaded on influence. I also have Memory of Fear, which is 2 more influence. So I'm all set to get my 6 influence and be ready for the Latern-bearer there. I do need 1 more. This would be 5 if it was in the top slot, so I need to get that power token. I do have Memory of Might here as a backup, but just to be extra safe, I guess. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So we take 1 damage from the Hobgoblin and reset. I also, flipping the Key of Love is also going to give me a power token on influence, as it turns out. So, turn over Enforcer. Okay, well, we know the Latern-bearer is next. Good thing we didn't kind of sit around and wait for it to come up. We lose a power token on the fight action from that Enforcer, and we draw the Pariah, heads into the discard pile. So, well, shoot, knowing the Latern-bearer is next, we are set up for it, but that means letting those 2 threats sit around, and so I could use the influence on the Enforcer, and I have enough influence in my hand to then power it back up to take care of the Latern-bearer. Then I'm pretty much, I've used, I think I'm going to do that. I don't want to keep taking damage. So let's use 4 influence, take care of that Enforcer, and power up Explore, preparation to actually, we'll have time to get the keys later. I need to sort of stay ahead here and because I've got this Latern-bearer and I've got one others that I'll need to deal with. So we take 1 damage. We're only at 17. We're still pretty high. We're doing okay on health. Take 1 damage from the Hobgoblin and on to the next turn. So there's the Latern-bearer. We lose 2 spirit for the plate effect. And we need to generate 6 influence, 6 fight. We draw Memory of Veil, 2 explore. Well, that'll be helpful later. So let's go ahead and use all of those power tokens, and we'll get our 6 fight. And now we need to get 6 influence. So let's we'll turn the key of Valor to get our extra action, and then play Memory of Fear and one of our Memory of Redemption. So Memory of Fear heals us for 1, so that's 4 influence, 5, 6, and we defeat the Latern-bearer. So we heal up another. And power up Explore. Well, that worked pretty well. I'm happy with how that played out. So now we've got to kind of rush through, and get ready for the next one. We take 1 damage for the Hobgoblin. Reset. So I'm curious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. The prize 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we've been through 15 cards. So we still have 3 more in stack 3, and then we're into stack 4. So we've got at least 3 more cards before we're going to see another Latern-bearer. That should be plenty of time for us to rebuild our resources. Okay, another Pariah. This one takes 3 influence. We draw the Memory of Honor. So one thing we know we need to do before the next Latern-bearer is get an additional action, and we can get that by claiming that key or by drawing a Memory of Heart. For now, since we've got a few turns before we need to worry about that, I'm content to just take care of threats and see if I draw a card that lets me, gives a Memory of Heart or maybe Memory of Sorrow. I can kind of stall a turn and get the key then. But I don't want to just leave 2 threats out there and keep taking that damage. So I'm going to play Memory of Might along with Fight 2 for 3 fight, and that takes care of the Hobgoblin. And let's power up Influence, working up to that 6. We need, actually, going to change that. I'm going to power up Explore. So now I'm at 6 Explore, which is what I need for Key of Sight. I have flipping the Key of Love will boost my influence, and I also still have Memory of Redemption in my hands. So I've got other ways to get to 6 influence. So we take 1 damage for the Pariah. And there's another Hobgoblin. So not the greatest timing there. We didn't get any great cards into it, and we are going to reshuffle that Pariah. So we could see him again. I guess that is a reason to kind of delay on actually defeating the Pariahs. Because then if a Hobgoblin shows up, you're going to have to reshuffle them. Memory of Home. All right, well, that's Explore. I don't like playing Influence and Fight out of these lower positions because I have to boost it up with cards from my hand, and it's a bit inefficient. But it's okay for now. I'll play Memory of Honor for influence 1, along with that 2 influence, and defeat this pariah. Then let's go ahead and power up Fight. We take 1 damage for the Hobgoblin, and on to the next turn. So there's an Eremite. Discard 1 power token. We can lose it from Explore. Let's get something good here. Memory of Heaven. Well, that's not bad. Can heal, so we definitely want to do that, because if a Hobgoblin lets us reshuffle, we can get it back. So we also add 1 power token to Fight action, so we heal up 2 to 16. I think I'm going to use 3 Explore and take care of this Eremite. And let's go ahead and power up. Let's get 1 more on influence. Yeah. We're almost there. We're almost ready for the Latern-bearer. Hopefully he doesn't come, or she. I don't know. Is that a they? Hopefully they, really can't tell. Hopefully they don't come before we're ready. So we take 1 damage for that Hobgoblin and move on. So in Enforcer we lose power token from our Fight action. Draw Memory of Creation. Let's just play Memory of Creation, heal 1. So both of those threats take 4 fight. I think we're going to fall behind here. We can't sit on them. Besides, we don't even have enough to take care of the Latern-bearer if they show up. But we're now in the zone where the Latern-bearer could show up. Well, let's go ahead and deal with the problem at hand and play 4 Fight to clear that Enforcer, and we can power up Influence. So we're almost to 6. We take 1 damage for the Hobgoblin, and there it is. Okay, Latern-bearer. Take 2 damage and draw Memory of Knowledge. Okay, well that actually could be somewhat helpful. Well, we're not going to get this in 1 turn, so we're going to take a good chunk of damage here. But this is the last foe, so hopefully we can get our footing back under us before we die. There's not any like serious threats in this. There's not any. They're all going to be 3 or 4 fighter influence, so we should be able to kind of coast through. So we'll play Memory of Redemption for 2 influence. Use 1 power token. So that gets us 6. And, well, we don't have any way of getting an additional action, so that is our turn. We can power up Fight, refresh, so we take 3 damage. Ooh, this is gonna get close. Next threat is a pariah, so 4 influence to defeat, 1 spirit damage, and Memory of Heart. Well, that was good timing. So there's an additional action for us. So how can we need to get to 6 fight. So this in the top slot is worth 4. Still not there. Well, I think what we'll do is let's play Memory of Veil for 2 explore, use 1 power token, and get 6 explore to grab the key of sight. And then we'll play the memory. Yeah, let's play the memory of knowledge to swap influence and fight. And then go ahead and turn the key of sight to get an additional action and use influence 4 to take care of this pariah. Still, there wasn't a way I could get to 6 fight this turn, but I could take care of that pariah and not take that spirit damage. So we'll power up fight, and unless we lose that power token, we should be able to get to 6 next turn. So we take another 3 damage. We're down to 7. Yeah, that was going to go pretty quickly. Key of Light. Oh, that was good timing. So we get a break. A null turn. Let's see if we can catch up. All right, Memory of Fear. 2 influence. Well, unfortunately, I think we have to combine cards to get to the 6 we need. We only got 5. And do I lose the heal? I think the extra action is more valuable than the heal at this point. So I'm going to combine Memory of Fear and Memory of Home for 1 power token on fight, and then I'll use all of them to get 6 fight and take care of this second Latern-bearer. I get to heal 1. And let's Key of Light is explore 8. That's a lot. It's going to take us a while to get there. Let's power up influence. I want to be ready to take care of threats. I'm more concerned about my health than getting that key at the moment. So Hobgoblin pings us for 1. And on to the next turn. There's another Hobgoblin. So we can reshuffle. But we get to put back a couple healing cards into our deck. So it's not bad. And this Hobgoblin is only fight 2 to take care of, so a little bit easier. And we draw the Memory of Cold. Okay. Can handle that. Ignore spirit cost of 1. A spirit cost, a -1 spirit cost threat. Both of those are -1, so we can play that. Fortunately, fight is in the lowest position. So I think we may need to use our extra action. Let's go ahead and we'll explore. We use the explore action to draw a card. Memory of Creation. Can go ahead and play that. Heal 1. And then we'll play Memory of Heart. It's not the best use of this card, but kind of have to defeat that hobgoblin with fight 2, and then I'm going to hold on to Memory of Cold for now in case I need to combine maybe to get an extra power token, and I'm at 8, so I'm not quite at critical levels yet. That's one thing about this game is you don't necessarily have to do everything right on one turn. You might just be able to do it on the next turn. Okay, so we're take 1 damage. On to the next threat. So we draw Mystic. So that lets us. We're going to look for the last key. There it is, Key of Power. So we have an Enforcer and Eremite coming, so we're going to be losing some power tokens. Okay, well now it's kind of just a race for the exit and see if I can get out. The problem is that I need so much Explore. I need 8, 13, I need 19 Explore. Whew, that's going to be a big ask. Okay, well I drew Memory of Redemption, so that's 2. Yeah, well, I think obvious first thing to do is to take care of this Mystic. So, because she has a spirit cost of 2. And I may as well just flip the Key of Valor. I'm going to heal for 1. Eremite has me lose from just a power token. Fight has me lose, or Enforcer has me lose from fight. So I think I'm going to roll the dice and power up Explore. And if the Eremite comes, I lose it. If the Enforcer comes, I don't. But I need to try to get the 19 Explore I need to get out of here. And I lucked out. Okay, so no power token to lose. Ugh, these pariahs. They may literally kill me. Okay, well let's use 5 Explore, grab the Key of Power. And then we're going to use the Key of Power as additional action to get 3 fight and take care of that Enforcer. And we will power up Influence because we can. Okay, so now we just need 14 Explore. Well, another way of looking at this is I will probably play the Explore when it's in the 3rd slot both times. So that's 3, 3, 6. So I need 8. I need to get 8 Explore between power tokens and cards. I have the Key of Sight, which when I flip it gives me 1 power token. So I need 7 Explore. Ugh. And the thing is, when you use the action, you can't also tilt it. So, yeah, I'm definitely reshuffling. I could very well flip into the Archfiend and lose the game here. We take 1 damage for that Hobgoblin. Draw an Eremite, so we have to discard that power token. Memory Veil, perfect, good timing. So that's 2. We're getting closer, So we still need 5 to get out of here. Well, let's let's try to stay ahead of these threats. Let's play Memory of Redemption. Actually, I'm going to hold on to Memory of Redemption. Instead, I'm going to flip the Key of Love to get a power token on Influence, and then use Influence 4 to take care of this Eremite. More cards in my hands means I can combine. Combining means power tokens, which means getting out of here. Although I think we are expecting a couple nymphs. So there were 3 in this deck, and we have seen 1, 2. Okay, well, in the next 3 cards, there's going to be 1 nymph, which, so we have to get to 8 before we can get out of the portal. So let's see, we're at 5. So I need 3 power tokens, so I would definitely lose 1. Well, I got Key of Sight, so that's, you know, I kind of want to see the nymph before I start powering it up, but then I'm just waiting around. Let's see, if I power this up now, it's at 4, 5, 6. I could combine these for 7. Still not there yet. Oh, 8 is the Key of Sight. So I could get there if I can sneak a power token by. Although I'm going to play Memory of Cold now. Because I need to stop taking damage. So I'm going to avoid that damage from the Hobgoblin. I will still draw another card next turn, so I could combine my way to 8 and grab that last key. Okay, well, we'll avoid the spirit damage anyway. And let's see if we can sneak this power token by. And no nymph. Oh, no nymph. Okay, so a mystic. Well, there's no more keys, so that plate effect has nothing, has no effect. And we draw a Memory of Home. Oh, very nice. Okay, so that's worth an explore. Okay, well let's flip the Key of Sight, get that power token, and then we'll play Memory of Home and Memory of Veil for 3, 4, 5, 8. Grab this Key of Light. So those are gone. I'm going to turn the Key of Light. Well, first, I guess first I have to flip the Key of Power to get a power token on Fight. Now I'm going to turn the Key of Light to use this Fight action to take care of this Hobgoblin. Then I'm going to flip the Key of Light and draw a card. Oh, awesome. Memory of Sorrow. Love it. May get out of here after all. So I will go ahead and play the Memory of Sorrow. So I need to move the portal into the threat area. So we'll put the Mystic back on the deck. And I did that now because I didn't want to wait to see the Nymph, because then if I did that, I'd have 2 turns where I would potentially lose an explore power token. Alright, so these, I'm taking no damage. Those go into my discard, and I can power up Influence, so why not? And on to the next turn. So there's that Mystic. I draw the Memory of Blood. Well, let's, maybe I should have waited on the Memory of Sorrow, because as it is, oh well. As it is, I didn't have a turn where I could safely power up Explore. Since I used that action, maybe I ought to have waited. Well, anyway, we take care of that Mystic with our Influence 3. Now we just have to get Explore 6. We have 3 here. Could combine this for power token, that's 4. I know there's a nymph in there that's going to steal it, but we may as well. Because if we draw a card with explore value, we could be out of here next turn. So let's roll the dice and see if it's no. Okay, well the nymph is at the very bottom of the deck. Turn up a hobgoblin. We are reshuffling a couple explore tokens, so increase our chance of drawing one here. And we draw Memory of Fear. Well, that hobgoblin only takes 2 fights, so we may as well take care of him and power up our explore action. So I think we're all set, because between combining cards and anything we might draw, we can overcome that last nymph. We're going to lose that power token. But we draw the Memory of Creation, but we don't even need it, because we can combine these into 1 power token. We can combine those into another power token. And we can generate Explore 6, and we can escape out of the portal. And that's the first game, I think, where we didn't have to even reshuffle this guy, this big nasty guy, into the deck and risk defeat. So we have won Vignette 4, the Wheeled Heart. And we'll come back with my decisions about upgrading, but I get to upgrade an action as well as a memory. So I'll make those choices and come back and let you know. Okay, so made a choice here. For my upgrade, I'm going to upgrade Memory of Honor into the Memory of Sorrow, so the same influence level, but I really liked how this played in this last game, being able to return any threat. So it doesn't have a spirit cost requirement, any threat to the top of the deck. It buys me a turn. It lets me know what's coming next, which is a really big help. Really useful card. So that's the card I will upgrade, and then for the action, had a closer look at everything. I'm going to upgrade the fight action. So what this does is it, once per vignette, I can flip it and add 5 power tokens to the fight action, and then at the beginning of the next vignette, flip it, regain the advanced side. So there are some big enemies coming up, like, let's see, 3 vignettes from now, Plague Town, Hellion, Black Wolves, both of those are basically enormous fight tests, so that extra fight is going to be helpful there. So the other time I get to upgrade an action is Vignette 13, so I've got to make it through a bunch of vignettes here without before I get to upgrade another action. I was tempted by the Explore, actually, because the Explore values keep ticking up with each vignette, and as you saw at the end of this one, I was so busy dealing with threats that by the end I just needed a massive Explore boost and I could have been out of there. And it's kind of a way to shorten the very end of the game. But I don't know. We're going to go with fight and see how it goes. So, you know, in future vignettes, I can keep that in mind and sort of de-emphasize maybe improving my fight cards in terms of upgrades, because I know I've got that free 5 at one point in the scenario, and maybe focus instead on influence and explore. And that fits with kind of how I've upgraded so far. I haven't overemphasized fight in comparison to the other two. So anyway, there you have it. Thanks for watching. Join me next time for Vignette 5, The Forlorn Village.